Welcome back to the Will List Podcast. Yeah, we back in this. Yeah, man. Check it out. Got a great show for you today. Very good show for you today. We're gonna bring some light to some shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we about to go there, and you about to understand why too. I promised you this book of all tribes. It says American Indians and Alcatraz. Check it out. Told y'all I had that book too. We're going to get into that a little later. About the Siberian hustle. But anyway, check it out. Show tonight, the Active Intelligence Show. Acting is lying. I just want you to understand that. Acting is lying. We're gonna jump straight into some whip moments for sure. But let's get some music playing. You know how I like to flow. You know how I like to get down. So check it out. Let's get some music playing real quick, so we can enjoy ourselves and have a great show. You understand? I hope you do. I hope you're ready to get down with me, because we got some places to go tonight with this show. Damn, I can't hear the music. I like it. I'm gonna stay with it. It's cool beat. Talk some shit to it. So let's get to it. Let's just get to it. It's time. I'll ask you though. Getting on my nerves. It's like it's in my eyes. Oh. All right. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. Shall we begin? Yes, we shall. All right, here we go. We're going to jump straight into it with the first whip moment. But first of all, let me give you a little bit of an icebreaker on why I chose to do this show tonight. See, a lot of people act intelligent. They think they're intelligent. They know what they've been told about themselves. They know who their competition was. They knew who they was around. So what if you got a whole room of mediocre motherfuckers that think they're smart, just because they're talking only to each other about things that maybe don't even concern them? But the only way you seem intelligent is, most people equate intelligence with being cruel, too diabolical, or let me get my camera right here. Let me get MJ in there. Yeah. But most people equate intelligence with being cruel, or just, you know, a bad person, or, oh, you're smart, I got to stay away from you. Oh my God, you know more than what I know. Oh my God. See, that's what the Western dominant society wants you to think about intelligence. Intelligence actually has nothing to do with being cruel. If you're diabolical, you're just diabolical. That's just your goddamn nature. That's just who you are. But being smart about being a killer, that's a skill set. That doesn't equate you to being an intelligent being. Being cruel, and smiling in people's faces and being cruel behind their back, that's a cruel being. You're a two-faced, untrustworthy bastard for the most part. It's kind of how that works. So, also, when we talk about intelligence, the only reason why you pose as intelligence, or you pose as being a good person, or you pose, get it? Acting. You're posing as such. They call that in Western American side, it's fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that shit. I think you should have it. I think you should have it. I think you should. And if you don't have it, you can achieve it by doing to work to achieve such. So let's get into the first whip moment, shall we? There was your icebreaker. That was the icebreaker. That was your gain attention. All right, let's get into it. So the first whip moment is the criminal within. Yeah, that's the first whip moment. Think about that. When you have posers, most of the time they have an evil plotted plan to do something vicious to another kind of people for geographical gain and resources. Those are very important things when it comes to a person that wants to control the globe. You have to have control of the ports, you have to be geographically sound, and you have to have relationships with people that are willing to do the same deeds that you want to do. So you have handshakes, and you oppress and suppress. And that's the system that you cultivate, and you mask it with this thing called democracy. Demons, multitude of demons, democracy. See, you have practiced and dirtied every pure thing that could exist on this planet in a rightful way. See, the criminal within, nothing means anything to you other than taking from others or solving your problems on the backs of other people. That's what put other people in jeopardy of success. We should know. American Indians, Black Americans, FBA. That's what we do have in common. We understand that better than anybody. Globally, we understand how systems are put in place in order for us to be what? Propagated. Which brings us to the next what moment. Is that the next one yet? No. We're not there yet. But we're gonna get to the next what moment in a second. I'm gonna set it up for you. See, the criminal within wants to be the poser, but they want everybody to believe it. Everybody has to buy into their psychology or their philosophy especially, or your posed religions. And you demonized every spiritual system that existed. You destroyed them. You dismantled them. You annihilated them. That was the criminal within you. So the criminal within set a new stage so they could stage events. So when you have a stage and you stage events, you can write history the way you want to. Call yourself the victor when you didn't win. Call yourself all of these different things when you control the pen. That's when the term "the pen was mightier than the sword." Because you can write anything you want. And every single solitary indigenous person on this planet has raised hell about your history books, has raised hell about your bullshit, have raised hell about your presence. And you always think, and people always think I'm talking about only Caucasians. No. We're talking about a global agreement to shatter a specific indigenous people by way of record in every way, because you saw them as insignificant to what you wanted. That allowed you to cast a system globally because everybody had to agree. Oh man, you didn't think the world set up our demise? The most intelligent genetically intelligent people on the globe you saw as disposable. I wonder why. Because that was your criminal within. That wasn't power, that was force. And now you practice power in a forceful way. You can't even display your power for real. Because your power was never real. It was barbaric. It was in your nature. You know who I'm talking to. Yeah, you do. So, let's get to the next what moment. Using race as a viable hate crime. Yeah, the world is guilty of that. Not just the European. See, you don't understand when you follow suit with certain behaviors and it doesn't bother you because it's not affecting you. Well, you know, silence is violence. Oh. So we're talking about global capitulation to what happened to the black native. I hope you understand. Next what moment? Oh, no, we can't leave this one. We can't, I can't run over this one too quick. We're talking, you know, I've covered the pen situation. I've covered that. I've covered the pen situation. So let's cover one more thing. The reason why I say using race as a viable hate crime, well, when you do it from the pen, you can do it from propaganda. It was done in every single fabric of life for the Black American. Labor, law, education, government. What else we got here? Education, entertainment, society. So the society that was built to suppress, oppress, and reject every way possible was implemented on who? Yours truly, on the global stage. It was agreed upon. The vicious acts that happened to the Black American indigenous, that didn't happen to nobody else like that nowhere else in the world. The Americas, I said. I didn't say just North America, because shout out to the Caribbean islands. Shout out to South America, Central America. Brutal. Caste. Slavery. That's what actually existed and happened to indigenous people on their own land, in their own country. And then there is another group of mercenaries who know where they're from. You know how you got here too. Didn't Russia run out all of their barbarians, they said? Your indigenuity from Siberia? So you were taken to European schools to become more European-like. That is true. You did. We already had manners. You know it's true and you know the truth, but you refuse to accept the facts and the truths. You know who I'm talking to, too. You understand? All right, next what moment? The genetic deviant. There are a multitude of genetic deviants. Oh yeah, they exist in every humanoid complexion. Yeah, because if it wasn't that way, how you got so many melanated white supremacists? So I've been all over the world. People that are indigenous to those lands are wonderful and beautiful from all complexions. Been to the Mediterranean, I've been to Europe, upper parts of Africa. Saw the complexions and how beautiful the people are everywhere. And look at me and gave me so much love and appreciation. I was treated better overseas than I was treated in America at the time. And if I probably went back overseas, I would probably still be treated better overseas than in America in some places, simply because I have manners and I don't look down on people, no kind of people. What I can do is I look to people to see who they are. That way I know how to exchange or not, and that's okay too. But check this out. Let's get to the next whip moment. The pretentious civilized. Yeah. Now we know we're talking about the people that got the Gilded Age started, who didn't lift a finger to do any type of work. Yes, we're talking about the European American, the one that propagated black people were lazy. That's who did that. The Gilded one, who never did any work ever. Why do I say that? Oh, well, you think about it. You never had any mental disruptions. You were always able to feed your belly. You was always able to feed yourself, and you was always able to do this on the backs of other people. You didn't even see it in your conclaves. You never saw who picked crops. You never saw who did any of the engineering. You were too busy indoors. The majority of you, and the jobs that you had in a shop, doing the things that you want to do because you're good with your hands, or you've learned a skill set that you had to pick up, that you were taught, that you being observed and was able to write books of what you saw the carpenters do, the indigenous carpenters. Yes, those people who you learned from, who you observed, who you watched work, and you saw the intelligence and the brilliance of what they've done. Then you started changing and exchanging and making them extinct, writing them out of all halls of Congress. You learned that from your European brethren. You were told to do as such. The relationship between Britain and America never really was a war the way people think. It was expansion. When they came to these shores, if it was in peace, you wouldn't be bringing cannons and bullets and guns with orders to annihilate and take over a landmass. But you did it in increments and in waves. It wasn't brutal off the top. You allowed us to think we were in power when you know we were going to be slaughtered regardless. So you let us mingle for a while, marry, have sex, and act as if it was an egalitarian situation until the brutal force was implemented. You even had whites that didn't take your side. It was a whole mess. You enslaved whites. You enslaved everybody from the colonies, the British colonies. You did the same thing in Great Britain. You slaughtered all Uh-oh. I guess they're trying to cut me off. Let me change the station. Oh, what we got going on here? They don't want me to play no more music? Oh, okay. I'll deal with that then. But let's talk about it because these are the things that happen. The simple reason that these things were done is simply because you made everything about the most simple, one of the most vile things that you can ever do to humanity. Put in the mindset of people that your position was greater. That was an awful atrocity because you never told the truth about who you learned everything from, including your ideological ways of civilization. You did not create, including this so-called phonic Phoenician English language. This does not belong to you either. It's a Phoenician dialect. Phoenician. We all spoke the same. This is not a new language. It's just not. And it doesn't belong to England or English. You ever heard of phonics? Yeah, let's call it what it is. Anyway. Yeah, the pretentious civilized. See, that's another pretentious civilized so-called thing. A Phoenician black dialect you claim as an Anglo-Saxon dialect, which is a lie. It's not English. It's a Phoenician dialect. Stop it. You know so. Charlo, Charco, any white man that's named Charles. Shit. People name things to what they appeared. Dark melanated skin, having a hue. Herman, Henry. Well, I tell you, swarthy people. Now, don't get me wrong. There was also a very self-hating class of royals as well. They painted themselves pale. They wanted their pictures. They wanted to be remembered as lighter. So yeah, it was a sickness. It was pretty some grotesque shit going on that time, man. You had pale complected people not wanting to bathe because they thought being nasty and dirty was pure. I'm gonna tell you why they didn't bathe, because they see what their black fathers did a lot. Bathhouses, bathe, clean, purify your skin. Yeah, hygiene. It's kind of how you stay renewed. Okay, next what moment? This is the one thing that most lighter skinned, lighter melanated, and not just whites, let's just call it what it is, lighter melanated people. Let me tell you what they say. I'm just better than you with no real truth. Wow. I'm just better than you with no real truth or proof or nothing. See the association in the fascination with the color, with the pale color? That was the underlying human acceptance. Do you realize that? That was the underlying human acceptable notion in the subconscious. Yeah, that's what I think, for sure. Anyway, next what moment? The subconscious of belief versus knowledge. See, what you believe about yourself and what you know about yourself are two different things. Belief is, I told you, look in the middle of the word. It's lie. So you can believe every concept that you want. It does not make it true. That means you may not even know you for real at all. You should really start finding and accepting who and what you are so you can better your deviances that you know you have subconsciously. That's something that you do know. You know you have a strong deviant nature. That you do know. And that behavior was really is what conditioned the world. Is what people saw as dominance. Being, I'm gonna get to that next one. I'm gonna get to that whip moment. But let's get to the reason why people love the word belief. Because it allows you to think that you're free to do what you want. I ain't gotta know that. I'd rather just believe this. And you can't stop me. I can believe what I want. Okay, fine. You are absolutely correct to be as foolish as you want to be. No pun intended, but hey, that's kind of what belief equates to. Knowing what you know makes you a different type of person. You have to stand on accountability for yourself at that point. And that's what a lot of you negate. We're talking about the human conditions of people and why they choose and believe to accept the shit that they do. Because they love to lie. Especially about who they are. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all that shit. Yeah. Love to lie to yourself is a disease. And to lie to others is wicked, cruel, and deceitful. You dig that? You understand? Next what moment? Hyper hate equals propaganda. See, when people literally hate you and don't even know you, it's blasphemy. That's an abomination. You don't even know me to want to judge me, but that's what you do. Because you're looking for a way to gain an advantage and an edge. Because that's what makes you feel better. But if that's what you got to do to make someone feel insecure for you to feel better, you got a wicked fucking problem, homie. You got a problem with yourself. It ain't me. It's you. I got to get an edge. Man, fuck you. I ain't got to deal with you. And that's what everybody itching for now. That liar's edge. You fucking dressed up garbage can. That's what that shit really boiled out to be. Shit. All right, next what moment? Theft, deception, and lies. Why are those the leading characteristics of most people globally now? Why the fuck is that? Because you have no faith in your skills if you have any at all. Being destructive and deceitful and acting as if you're doing no harm. Bull. Life. I don't mean that's all fucking self-inflicted. But I've been scared before. I know what that shit hurt. I know what that shit feel like. We got to beef up our security. You know what I'm saying? People got to do right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, blessings to you, man. Don't attack me, please. I'm not with it. I will take action appropriately with law. Yeah, we back. Had to reconnect. I don't know what. Real quick, make sure we solid. See the camera. Yeah. Mike, we solid. All right, cool. We vibe. We straight. We back. All right. So yeah, check it out. Here we go. Next whip moment. I don't know if you caught the last one. We're gonna go with theft, deception, and lies. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Theft, deception, and lies. So let me run through that one again. Those are the characteristics that people are leading with. Theft, deception, and lies. Wow. See, that's because humans we're degrading, we're digressing into devaluing each other. That's not a good place for us, as we're not reaching any heights. We're devaluing each other. Devaluing comes with disease, famine, and the way you lead into, like I told you, the way you lead into deception, the way you lead into wanting to deceive, lie, just to get something of value that you never earned. See, when people get that sick shit in their mind and they want to lead with that and act as if that's okay, that's fucked up, man. That's not a good situation. What's wrong with honor, truth, integrity? Strong values that when you're a confident person, you can lead with that because you say, hey, I'm trustworthy. I can move to the next. I can move with you. I'm trustworthy enough to build business with you. See, that's why we got to understand something. I value true. I value what you know, the knowledge. I can share a situation with a person simply because we know how to agree without frustrating each other or pissing each other off or even going into a situation of deception just to get what you want. It's foul. Shit cruel. But we're going to get to the next whip moment. Misconceptions is purposeful misinformation. Why do I say this? Because it is. When you misinform somebody, you want an edge. When you deceive someone, you don't want to be truthful. You want to position yourself in a situation that supersedes their situation. It's called lies. Again, all things lead back to things you can't prove, only in the inner linings of what you do and how you do it. See, words like maybe, if, the dirtying up of language, the dirtying up of the characters and how people are supposed to communicate. Using too many throwed off, we call that double talk words. So, you know, I'm telling you this, I'm championing you, but I can't stand that motherfucker. I kill his ass. Double talk. It's not, you know, people think it's a skill set, being pretentious and pretending as if you like someone. You don't have to, well, I tell you, you don't have to like them, but you can treat them with some dignity and respect because you may not know them. See, that's your perception. That's what you feel. That's what you think. It's not what you know. That's what you believe. Again, that lie word kind of sticks to every damn thing. Dirties everything the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what that does. I believed. I made an assumption. Dirty shit. You want to push your assumption on someone as if all of that shit is what you done conjured up is true and all of that shit is right. And a lot of times your shit be wrong as hell. But oh no, you're just a wicked motherfucker. That's kind of how that falls out anyway. For real. Anyway, next what moment? Morals and ethics are not options. They are laws of humanity. So all of what I was covering is people's dirty deeds and dirty ways. That shit don't end up good, you know? Maat and Karma be looking at your ass like, you know, there was no truth, justice, reciprocity, order. Nothing good in that. That was Terrible. So karma says, well, let me get that motherfucker what they deserve. I was waiting on them. But what if it goes both ways? That person practiced so much truth, justice, reciprocity, order, law, labor, beauty, acceptance, appreciation, love, exchanging, values. And karma says that beautiful person got to see me too, and I'm going to reward them with their flowers that they never got. Always the unsung. Morals are, I mean, what else you got if you don't have that? You know, what else do you really have? If you can't base your foundation on morals and ethics, doing something, you know, that's integrity based, it'll last longer. Check it out. Next what moment? How not to be a deviant. Well, accept yourself for who you are first. Lead with that. It's very simple. Accept who you are, you as a whole. Don't leave nothing out. Just accept who and what you are. Start learning more about yourself, and you start being more proud of who you are and what you are. Start using your brain as a study tool. Train yourself. Read more. Challenge yourself. Stop looking at others trying to pretend that you are them or you or like others. You know, if you pay more attention to you, you'll have your own swag, you'll be your own person, you'll be your own individual without having to pretend or be pretentious. All right. I just want to leave you with a note too. And it's for you global black people, you global melanated people, all of us. Let me explain something to you. I want you to take this to the bank too. Check it out. Black people can be more evil than anybody on the planet, the alpha and omega of good and evil. Remember when I told you all skin folk and kinfolk? Yeah, I know who I'm talking to too. This is the last message I got for you, because I didn't want to hold you that long tonight. But this is the last message I got for you. Check it out. You are the slave and the master. You are the master and the slave. You are the master and the slave because you created it all. You are the solution. We are the solution. Work on your solution because the will is yours. So that's the show tonight. Just wanted to share with you. So, all right. Check it out. It's my favorite part. The will is yours. Peace. Y'all have a good one. See if I can get AE on later, depending on what he's doing.